Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the NetSuite Podcast. I'm Megan O'Brien, co-host of the podcast. We have a very exciting episode for you today. Jessica Jennings, a program manager for NetSuite Learning Cloud Support, also known as LCS, is joining us today to dive into NetSuite's educational offerings, including some of the new ones from our latest release. We also talk all about the learning options that NetSuite will have at SuiteWorld 2023 this year. Spoiler alert, there are a lot of great options for all experience levels to take their NetSuite usage up to the next level. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this episode.
You're listening to the NetSuite Podcast, where we discuss what's happening within NetSuite, why we're doing it, and where we're heading in the future. We'll dive into the details about the software and the people at NetSuite who are behind all the moving parts. We'll also feature customer growth stories, discussing the ups and downs of running a company and how one integrated system can help your business continue to scale.
Hi, Jessica. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to be here. I think the last time that I was listening to this podcast, I was out walking my dog, going to Starbucks. So it's fun to be here with the real deal.
Oh my gosh. That sounds great, actually. It's early morning here and I'm like, Starbucks sounds good. Where are you recording from today?
I am in the good old Lone Star State. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Oh, right where Oracle's headquartered. That's pretty cool.
Yep. It's been a lot of fun actually having them right here with us.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. I know we have a lot to cover today. So to start out, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at NetSuite?
Sure. So my current role at NetSuite, I am a program manager within Learning Cloud Support, or for the listeners out there, you may regularly hear us say the LCS team. And in my role, I just get the chance to work on various new learning initiatives that we roll out for our customers, as well as some of our employee programs as well.
So Learning Cloud Support and all these kind of educational offerings, could you tell us a little bit about what your team does?
Yeah, absolutely. So I joined Oracle, I think at this point it was over 6 years ago. And the majority of my time in my role here has been on the NetSuite education and LCS team. And I've gotten the chance to really serve our customers through both system training and adoption. And I just love not only our LCS team, but also our LCS customers. And it's so fun because in LCS, we get to spend our time working to make NetSuite users' lives better and easier every day. And I mean, there's nothing more rewarding than logging in to your software system to do your work, feeling confident, and just having ownership in the work that you do. And in LCS, we're really here to help our customers find that ownership.
That sounds kind of like a bit of a mission statement. Would you agree? Like, is that the mission of your team here at NetSuite?
I would say, yeah. I mean, LCS provides NetSuite users out there and NetSuite administrators with all the different training solutions that they could need to improve their NetSuite skills and just really best understand how to use the system. And then I think, for our goal, I would say what we really do is just work to transform our software learning experiences. We want to foster that knowledge today, but also ongoing, and allow our customers to just get the most value and the highest adoption of NetSuite.
Why do you find LCS training to be important?
I mean, we can work to build out a perfect solution of NetSuite, implementing and integrating the software, all that we want. But if our users are not fully equipped or feel empowered to use it in the way that it's meant to be used, I think a lot of customers find themselves in a tricky place. And, I think it's about, let's say you went out and you bought, the prettiest car in the parking lot and you added on all the things, all the bells and whistles. You got the top tires on the market. You got leather interiors, all the safety features that you could get. But then no one ever really taught you how to drive it. What good does this perfect new car actually bring you? And And, that's what we see with NetSuite. We know that empowering users with the knowledge and the materials that they need, and just ensuring that the users feel comfortable and confident executing their day-to-day work in the system is truly critical to success.
And can customers that have maybe tailored their NetSuite solution to really work for their business, can they still use some of these offerings?
Yeah, so that's a good question. And absolutely. One of our many offerings that we have is custom tailored training events. And these are held directly within a company's own NetSuite account with their own customizations and integrations in there as well. And these are a lot of fun too, because customers get to work directly with a NetSuite expert trainer who comes in and conducts effective, hands-on, live, in-the-moment training. And in LCS, we know also that everybody learns a little bit differently. So we like to just provide the opportunity for choices on what training's best for you. And so one of the cool things with the custom training is these can be done either online or they can be on site at your company as well.
So how have you seen customers benefit from these educational offerings?
That's a good question. And I like that question because actually, prior to my role as a program manager in LCS, I was an education trainer and advisor working directly with our customers. And so I got to kind of see those successes in my day every day. And, when customers had those light bulb moments, I mean, that was really the most rewarding part of my day, I would say. I remember there was one time I was on a training. I was leading a training about bank reconciliation and how to make that just feel easy peasy for the user. And I remember that session to this day because the ladies on the call with me, for some reason, it was a bunch of us ladies, and they were just floored with how something as simple as adding reconciliation steps to their shortcuts just made everything about this process, the reconciliation process, click. And it was just fun. We had a lot of fun together geeking out over software bank reconciliation and seeing them have that light bulb moment just was so special. The other thing too that I'll mention is, I shared before that everybody learns a little bit differently. And so with LCS, there's so many different ways to foster your learning style. I've talked about custom training, but we even have self-study e-learning courses. We have live webinars that are held every day, step-by-step documentation guides. Customers even get a chance to meet one-on-one with an LCS NetSuite advisor. And then, like I said, those custom trainings as well. And these are great because maybe you're brand new to NetSuite and you just need to know the basics, or you're ready to expand your skills, you're ready to become a NetSuite wizard. And no matter where you're at, experience level, learning level, LCS is here for you.
And you mentioned NetSuite advisors. What is that?
I'm so glad you asked this one because this, I think, is kind of a game changer. Our LCS advisors work one-on-one with a company's primary training contact to really help lead their user enablement strategy for their teams, their employees, and their users. There's kind of like a laundry list of things that our LCS advisors can do for customers. And all of those things really just help ensure that stickiness and overall customer success, I would say.
Now, we did a podcast a little while back highlighting some of the exciting new features coming with NetSuite 2023 Release 2. And one of the big announcements that we focused on was the introduction of guided learning. For our listeners who don't know, can you give a quick description of what guided learning is?
Yes. Yeah, you're asking all the fun questions. NetSuite Guided Learning is step-by-step guidance that's right inside NetSuite, and it walks you through the specific tasks, or, if you're on a page and there's some key features, it gives you that step-by-step guidance right then and there.
It sounds different to me from like typical training instructions and videos that other software vendors offer. Is that correct? How does it differ?
Yeah, it is a little bit different. And I would say the cool thing too about guided learning and that it's totally embedded. And actually I think I'm right on this, but NetSuite is among the, if not one of the only software vendors that embeds that in-application guidance written by our in-house system experts. I know that there's a lot of vendors out there that, may partner with different digital adoption providers, or maybe they connect this content to their system via APIs. But with guided learning in NetSuite, it truly is seamless. There's no integration required. And I'll also mention it comes at no additional cost. And who doesn't love free?
Right? That's the selling point right there. Now, who will find the most benefit from guided learning?
I really think anyone learning the system can benefit from this. Guided learning provides quick adoption and just-in-time learning for the user. And we even have specific navigation support for some of the most popular roles that we see in NetSuite, financial roles, system administrators, sales, things like that.
And what types of topics can users expect to receive guided learning on?
Oh, I mean, all the things. Guided learning can help you with customizing your home dashboard, transaction fields, using NetSuite's reporting functionality, creating shortcuts, you name it.
Now, another thing that we kind of touched on in that release podcast was NetSuite MyLearn. Can you also explain what that is?
Yeah. NetSuite MyLearn is our personalized online learning system platform. So if you're looking for some type of system training that's led by NetSuite itself, MyLearn is going to be your one-stop shop. And within MyLearn, we have both e-learning options and live webinar events.
So is MyLearn kind of targeted towards a certain audience or skill set?
No, not necessarily. I think I mentioned it earlier, but we've got content at all levels. So whether you're a NetSuite expert or you're a first timer, you can find some things in there for you. And the cool thing too about MyLearn is that you're able to filter all of the content by experience level. And I think within MyLearn, you can filter by like introductory, intermediate, and advanced.
As if that wasn't enough already. You also have the LCS live sessions. What's the idea behind these live sessions, and how do these differ from something like MyLearn?
LCS live events, they're so much fun. They also, another way you might think of LCS live are online live webinars. And we host webinars and workshops daily through LCS Live. And there's really no limit to how many you could go to. If there's multiple topics, or maybe you want to revisit something you've seen before, there's not really a limit. And we've got live instructors who host the webinars. They discuss various hot topics of NetSuite, maybe their most demanded training topics that we see coming through. And then also the great thing, like I said before, they're live with an instructor. And so you have, as a listener, the opportunity for live Q&A with a NetSuite expert in every single webinar as well.
Are these live sessions, are they kind of applicable to all experience levels, or is there someone who might find more value than others?
Yeah, it's kind of the same as filtering by those different skill sets or audiences that I mentioned before. We've got NetSuite Basics and How Do I series that cover the core how-to of doing different things. And then we have sessions where you go in and customize your dashboard for your users, maybe as a system administrator. So, depending on your expertise level, you can find a webinar for yourself.
Now, you kind of touched on this a little, but what are some of the topics that our listeners might see covered in these live sessions?
Oh, really putting me on the spot here. Well, I would say in LCS Live, we've got all sorts of fun stuff. There's topics like safe searches for beginners, administrator fundamentals. I know we've got an entire nonprofit series as well. We have change management discussions that are live with industry leaders. We've got live training on data importing and suite analytics. I mean, yeah, the list can go on.
How did 6 out of the top 7 best performing tech stocks gain visibility and control over financials, inventory, planning, and budgeting with NetSuite by Oracle? Answers at netsuite.com/code. netsuite.com/code.
I think you said guided learning was included. What about MyLearn and these LCS live sessions? Are they costing extra?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I was thinking about that one. There's a couple answers here. So the first thing is, if you've got NetSuite, you've got guided learning. So it's built right in. But then for complete access to MyLearn and the LCS live events that I was just mentioning, you have to have our training subscription that's called the LCS Company Pass. However, I'll also add in though that we offer an LCS Explorer Pass where anybody can go in and access free limited MyLearn training content anytime. And if I'm thinking about it, I think it's over something like 100 courses that are available with the Explorer Pass.
Ooh, you get to sample a little before you commit.
Yes.
So if people did want to get the Explorer Pass, where can they go to access that today?
So you can go to, and I'll say what the website is here, mylearn.oracle.com/NetSuite. And then in the middle of the screen, you'll see some options of things to click. And there's one where it says explore free content. And I think it's paired with like a picture of some people paddling in a canoe or something. And just click right there. Yes, going on an exploration.
Perfect. Well, I'll go ahead and put that in our podcast notes so everyone can access it. But I'm going to switch gears on you a little bit here because selfishly, I want to know this. I mean, SuiteWorld 2023 is coming up. So those who attended SuiteWorld 2022 might remember that Learning Cloud Support had a really prominent and very popular presence last year. Is there any big plans this year?
We took a fun topic. I love this one. So don't get me started on SuiteWorld. But you did.
Too late.
Too late. It's too late. But the answer is absolutely yes. So we've got the LCS Learning Lab coming back. And this includes one-on-one advising with our training experts. We have these advising pods where you get a chance to meet one-on-one with them. We've also got a great lineup of speakers for our LCS Live stage. And then also, if those of you listening remember from last year, we'll also be bringing back our much anticipated hands-on workshops again. And we'll actually be hosting more of these this year than we saw in 2022 since we had those waitlists last year.
So I actually spent a lot of time in the LCS area in SuiteWorld 2022. That's where we were recording our podcast, and it was a very cool vibe, very fun. So highly advise people to check it out. So speaking of those training sessions, are those included in the general SuiteWorld Pass, or does it come at an extra cost?
Yeah, so all of the things I just mentioned, those are included with the SuiteWorld Pass, so no additional costs. Now, I will add though, we offer, in addition to SuiteWorld, pre-event training days prior to SuiteWorld, and this is like the 1 to 2 days prior to the event. And this one, that must be purchased in addition to the full conference pass. And pre-event trainings are amazing. They're 1 or 2 day courses across various topics. It could be like mastering finance or customizing your reporting. And we also have too a NetSuite certification exam and prep course as well. And if you're like me and you're not a good test taker, that's a good opportunity.
I am the same way.
But I'll add on too about pre-event training is, they're days long of learning, but it's so much great content. And we've got hands-on exercises in those. There's access to demo accounts, training materials that you can take with you. And then my favorite, there are snacks.
That's all you need. It really is.
Isn't it?
Now, what kind of content can customers expect to be covered in the hands-on workshops that are happening during SuiteWorld?
Yeah. So the cool thing is that the topics that we picked this year, these are really based on the hot topics that we've seen and based off the customer feedback that we got over the last year. And the workshops, which as a reminder to those listening, those are the hands-on sessions at SuiteWorld with access to lab environments. But yeah, the workshops, you could find topics on like process automation. There's sessions on data management, customized reporting and dashboarding, setting up your KPIs, user experience, best practices. The list goes on.
And if people love the training sessions that they attend at SuiteWorld, are there options for them to access training like this anytime throughout the year from LCS?
Ooh, my favorite question. Yes. All of the fun from our SuiteWorld Learning Lab can be accessed through the LCS Company Pass year-round. And we also have our Learning Lab roadshows, which I do believe Reg Singh joined you and shared about this a few episodes back. Is that right?
Yeah. So for those who haven't listened to that episode yet, I highly recommend going back to listen to it. But Reg came on and talked about kind of these in-person learning lab events where you get to attend and learn more about NetSuite. It is free. It is likely coming to a city near you. We have a schedule up, but just super, super helpful events from what I've learned.
Yeah, they're great. I've been to some, and then at SuiteWorld, it's very similar, but we've just got more days of content there, which is so fun.
And how do the hands-on workshops differ from one-on-one education advising? Because that's also an option, right?
Yep. So at SuiteWorld, our workshops that we have, they're kind of small classroom size sessions. Again, we have our NetSuite expert instructors in there. You'll get access to computers and demo accounts at your seat. And then you kind of just apply what you learn right then and there. And it might be, processes or customization type training and learning. The one-on-one advising, these give you a chance to sit down one-on-one, just like you and me, Megan, right now. You get to sit down one-on-one with an official NetSuite LCS advisor, and they get to help you just identify what learning needs do you need for your team and your users that use the system. Maybe you have questions about our training and adoption resources, guidance, best practices, system overviews, things like that are things that we can provide you with the one-on-one advising. Those are the ways those two things differ. The great thing about this, though, is it's all within our learning lab floor. So you can easily just go in and access it all in one place there at SuiteWorld.
That's such a great offering, because sometimes it's like, I don't even know where to start. I know this is valuable, but like, where do we begin is basically it. So, I mean, for someone like me, where I struggle just making the first step, this seems like it'd be very valuable. Now, for customers that are planning on checking out the LCS offerings at SuiteWorld, is there anything that they can do to prepare to make sure that they get the most out of the experience?
Yes. So if those of you listening want to get the most out of your SuiteWorld 2023 experience, I would say the first thing to do, if you've already signed up for SuiteWorld, is visit your agenda builder now and build out your SuiteWorld schedule. You can register in the agenda builder for your breakout sessions, your workshop sessions, and this is available now. Also, on that note, it's kind of a sub number one. If you sign up for the pre-event training, be sure to review the pre-event training catalog as well. And that's just on the SuiteWorld site too. The second thing I would say to get the most out of your SuiteWorld experience is, we just talked about it. Be sure to set aside some time to come to the Learning Lab and chat one-on-one with an LCS advisor. Check out our topics that are going on at the LCS live event stage and maybe stick around for a few of those. We have some customer favorite speakers who will be there. So it should be a lot of fun.
And for those interested in checking out the LCS offerings at SuiteWorld 2023, we kind of covered this a little with the agenda builder and everything, but is there anywhere else where they should go to get more information?
Yeah, there is. So, because, the agenda builder, that would be available if you've signed up for SuiteWorld already. Mm-hmm. But if you haven't, and you're really just wanting to get a bit more information, you can, or they can head straight to the NetSuite SuiteWorld website. So I'll say what that one is. It's NetSuiteWorld.com. And then most of the things we talked about today, you'll be able to find under the two tabs there. One of them is the sessions tab, and then the other one is the training tab. And, for those of you that have the LCS company pass, if you have a chance, email or meet with your LCS advisor any day, coming up in the next little bit. They can meet with you and kind of walk you through how to get things set up, and also just give you, again, that one-on-one advising for how you can get the most out of SuiteWorld 2023.
That's a great piece of information for just making sure everyone's prepared and ready to get the most out of it. So right. For those who unfortunately cannot make it to Las Vegas this year for the in-person experience, will LCS be offering any on-air experiences that they can check out?
Absolutely. And we'll miss those of you that can't come, but LCS does have an awesome team that is fully dedicated to supporting our on-air attendees. So a lot of the experiences that we may have in person we're also fostering the opportunity for those on air. And we'll have some subject matter experts that are making guest appearances on NetSuite TV. And those folks might be speaking or conducting system demos from LCS. One of those might be yours truly.
Exciting.
And then our breakout sessions, those are available as well on air. You could attend them both live or on demand from on air. And for those who are wanting more hands-on learning, we are going to have our workshops on air too.
The on-air and NetSuite TV, like they go above and beyond, making sure that you can still have a really great virtual experience. So I can't recommend enough checking them out because they do a fantastic job.
It is amazing. I mean, the production of NetSuite TV is beyond impressive to me.
It's so much work from what I've heard, but I kind of hear about it and I'm like, oh, don't want to get involved in that.
She's loving the podcast world over here.
Yeah, the podcast is treating me just fine. Well, any last pieces of advice for those looking to up their NetSuite game with NetSuite's educational offerings?
Ooh, well, if people haven't already, come and learn, what LCS is all about. Experience our training content firsthand by going to that LCS Explorer Pass, because anybody can get that. And I'll say it again, it's mylearn.oracle.com/NetSuite, and then click Explore Free Content and check it out. I mean, you can see so many things in there, courses and live events and webinars and all of that fun stuff. The other thing too is if you don't have the LCS Company Pass or any training really set up for your system yet, definitely talk with your rep. The LCS Company Pass and our tailored training event packs are a great option. We may even have some special promos going around. So you could ask about that. And remember too, that the LCS Company Pass, it grants you access to everything. I mean, everything, maybe I guess not SuiteWorld. You got to get your ticket to SuiteWorld. But other than that, everything we talked about today is a part of the LCS Company Pass. And, so our live events or our webinars, on-demand learning, if you want courses and tutorials to walk you through how to do things. If you want a lab or demo account that you can practice and learn transaction information in, we offer multiple of those within MyLearn. Our advisors can meet with you one-on-one. They're certified NetSuite advisors. They can help you with building training strategies, giving you guidance on what different user roles need this training and that training. They can even help with things like user adoption and change management guidance as well, and so much more. So I think, if you're looking for getting that aha moment and wanting to feel more ownership of your NetSuite system, LCS is going to be a great one to help you out.
And I think LCS, I mean, we've covered it kind of like in different ways a couple of times on the podcast, but I think it's just because you guys are doing so many cool things. You're not resting on your laurels. You're bringing all these different learning methods and formats for making sure that everyone really gets the most out of their investment and get that aha moment, which I think is really special. And I do think it's very unique.
Yeah, I love it. They keep me on my toes. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely like just bringing more and more out. And I think it's just a fantastic offering for our customers. But I also think that's the perfect note to end on. I'm going to be sure to link to all the valuable information that you've mentioned in our podcast notes. But Jessica, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, well, thanks, Megan, for having me. This was so much fun. Will I be seeing you at SuiteWorld this year?
I will be there. Yes.
Yay!
Yeah, we're going to be recording a few podcasts, attending a couple sessions. So I will definitely be around.
Oh, fun. Cool. Well, I can't wait to see you there. And thanks again for having me. And this was just so fun.
That brings us to the end of another awesome episode. I love these episodes leading up to SuiteWorld because it gives a sneak peek of what to expect and kind of gets you excited for the event. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Learning Cloud Support team is truly doing some great things around training and helping people learn about NetSuite in whatever way works best for them. Huge thanks to Jessica for joining us and sharing all these exciting developments around NetSuite Learning Cloud Support. And a big thanks to our wonderful editing team over at Oracle. And of course, a big thanks to all of you for tuning in. If you want more episodes just like this one, make sure you subscribe to our channel and give us a rating and review. Until next time.
You just listened to the NetSuite Podcast. Be sure to tune in every week with more NetSuite developments, stories, and insights into the benefits of one integrated system to help you run your business.